Hello and welcome back to Gilbear's Repairs. Today I'm going to be tackling the thermostat replacement on this 2006 Ford Ka. Remember, if you like the video, to like it, subscribe and to share it. Let's get on with it. Hello and welcome back to Gilbear's Repairs. Today I'm going to be replacing the thermostat. Just looking over the son's car before the MOT. I think I've come across a problem. I'll just feed you up the back of the engine. There's dampness there, as you can see. And that's the back of the cylinder head. And I think that's a thermostat housing. As you can see, the drip on the bottom corner there. There's a coolant drip. So we'll go around up top and have a look, see how much coolant's in the reservoir, see how bad the leak is. Okay, I'm up top now. Let's have a little check of the reservoir. See what we've got coolant wise. He's dry. No thermostat housing required then, bit of investigation. Right, let's get on with it. Okay, it looks like I'm going to have to go in through the top here. Air filter housing, air filter. Looks like there's a breather pipe going to the rocker. So I'm going to have to get in there. Oh look, a little Jubilee holding the intake pipe on. So I'll put you on the mount, I'll put you on the stand, and then I'll start ripping this out. See what we can find. That one off, well, it's come in half. There's a breather pipe to remove. Jubilee clip on the induction hose. I think you just pull this out, the air filter assembly. Yeah, I guessed that right. So that's the air filter box. Removed. Oh, now we can see it. Look, there's the thermostat by the look of it. Take you in for a closer look. That looks like what we've got. A few pipes there. Large pipe there. Large pipe down there. And then I guess these are the heater hoses or something. So it looks like those to remove. And looks like some 6mm bolts holding it on. I'll drain the coolant first, probably take the bottom hose off the radiator. So I'll do that off camera, and then I'll get back to you when I'm ready to remove it. Okay, we're on the thermostat now. I'm going to first start by taking off the electrical plug. I think you pull this pin out here. Just pull on that. I think that's the temperature sensor. And then you get the hose clips off here, press them with the pliers, slide that back down the hose. We should have, as I get this off, we should have some coolant still remaining in the pipe. So we should have a bit of radiator water come out here. Move on and do the other pipes. Squeeze the clips, slide it back. clip off. Just move around to the rear ones. Got some long nose pliers here for access. So that's the top pipe there. That's been removed. The middle and the end. So there's 3 pipes on the top. The large one down here. And there's one down around the back. I'll go underneath, I'll move the camera and then we can see the one down behind. Down around the back of the thermostat, I've got to get that hose clip off there, off the back of the thermostat. The same as the ones above, but I don't think I'm going to be able to have the camera up there whilst doing it, so I'll just cut to it being removed and get back to you. Some residual coolant's come now. Oh, there we go. And there's the bad boy all removed. So we'll go back up top now and actually remove the thermostat. Back up top now, I'm going to move the securing bolts. It appears to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts that hold it in place. This is an 8mm socket. So there's one at the bottom there. Crack him off. Yes, he's gone loose. Some more coolant coming out. That's coming out of the cylinder head. Okay, so that's it. There's the rest of the coolant out of the head. Oh, there's corrosion. Oh, you could see the broken joint there. Right, so I'll remove this. I'll show you what it looks like and compare it to the new one. Okay, so we've got the parts removed. Here's the new one. And here's the old one. As you can see, they physically look the same. So we should have no problems with fitting. The new one comes with the temperature sender or sensor, and it also comes with the thermostat. Thermostat's in the housing, and it comes with a new gasket, which is probably what's wrong with that one. Probably the gasket blown. Let's have a look at it. So here's the old one. Physically looks okay from the outside, but when you turn him around, you can see there's a lot of corrosion there built up from the scale of the coolant, and that looks like that's the problem. So the housing's broken there, swollen up, so we're getting coolant coming out. Here's the joint, here's the rubber seal. This is probably what's failed. There you can see it. But just look at the scale from the coolant building up. So this is the problem. Obviously I took the temperature sender out of there, but thermostat's in there. So we'll get round to cleaning up the block. We need to clean up the cylinder head, ready for the new part to be fitted. Right, let's get back on it. I'm just going to start cleaning up the cylinder head now. Just a standard decorating scraper, what you would use for wallpaper or whatever. And just give it a good scrape. this is your mating surface for your gasket around here. So you have to ensure that that area is clean and degreased. So we just give it a scrape. We'll spray with some brake cleaner to degrease. And then just your normal dishes scourer is adequate for this. Just give it a good clean up. Just a bit more brake cleaner. Yeah, that feels quite nice. That feels okay. Okay, so before refitting, you have to ensure that the gasket is in. There's a rubber joint. You have to make sure that that is fitted. It sits in the recess around there. So you have to ensure that that is in place and that the new part that you've purchased is provided with that. Just press it in like that. I will clean up these bolts. They're very dirty and oily. They need to have a clean up before they go back in. And a smear of anti-seize on those to prevent future corrosion. Okay, I'm back. Here we go. I've cleaned up the bolts, so the block's clean. Got the new thermostat. Make sure that that gasket is in the rubber joint, or else you'll be doing the job over again. So it's just offer it up there. As you can see, my bolts are clean, and I've just a light smearing of copper slip, gold grease, anti-seize compound, whatever you want to call it, just to protect the bolts. They were corroded where the coolant it was getting, where it shouldn't have, so this should protect that for the future. So then it's just refitting, the opposite of removal. Start by catching the six bolts. Catch them all loose first. Get them all started before you do up any of the bolts. I don't know the torque settings. Tight's tight. Too tight's broke. I've dropped my bloody socket. I'll get back to you when I've fished it out. Oh no, I can see it. I can see it. There we go. We're back on it. Just a firm nip. We're not talking over tightening. This is a plastic housing. If you over torque this, you'll crack the housing, and then you'll be buying a new thermostat. You'll be starting the job again. Just gently. I don't know what the torque is. If you have got a resource to find that, then use that. But I'll just go with a firm nip, which means nothing. Now it's a matter of reconnecting all the pipes. When I removed this, I took that temperature sensor out. Looks like I didn't need to, because the new one come with a temperature sensor. So to remove the plug, depress there. So you press that, press down on there. You can see that removes it when you depress it. So there you go, look, depress it, pull, releases the tab. So I don't need that one. That one's redundant now because that's with the old, because my new thermostat has come with a new one there. So that can be the first job. Plug that one in. And you want to hear it snap. And then we start putting the pipes on. I think I'll stop the video there and get back to you when they're back on. Back underneath. I've caught that pipe on the back, the big one. A struggle, about 15 minutes of struggling. Little bit of swearing, you know, as it goes. And I just want to say that all of this coolant on here, you need to spray down with brake cleaner. No residue on there. It's all down here, look, where it all drips everywhere. Really, you want all that gone. It all needs to be gone, so that when we start up and test for leaks, we know what we're looking for. We're not looking for old leaks. Okay, there we are. That's it. That's the area after I wipe down with some brake cleaner. The block's all dry there. The underside of the thermostat is all dry. So then when we fire up and test for leaks, we'll be able to see it. So there we are. That's the hoses reconnected. And there's the one around the bottom and the large one there. So that's the thermostat reconnected. We can now start filling the coolant to test for leaks. So we'll get on with that. All right, next we've got to fill the cooling system. So I'm going to fill up the radiator again. So I'm going to put a bit of water. Bit of antifreeze. Bit of water. Bit of antifreeze. You get the picture. So next thing, start the car up and bleed it. So we have to start the car up, run it, and effectively what we're doing is bleeding the system. We're burping it. We're getting the air bubbles out of all the pipes, putting the coolant or the water around the system. We have the car running for 10 to 15 minutes, get it up to temperature. Have the fan, the cooling fan on the interior, have them set to full heat to allow the coolant or the water to circulate into the heater element inside the dashboard. Got to get the bubbles out of there as well, get the air out of the pipes. So I'll start that now. I'll start the car up and we'll see how it goes. Car's been running for 15 minutes now. The interior heater is coming through nice and warm. This coolant is still there. But what I'm going to do now, take it for a drive, get it fully up to temperature, get the revs up, push all them bubbles around, get them out of the pipework. So far after my 15 minutes, appears to be dry. Nothing major. When I come back from a test drive, we'll have a thorough inspection, go underneath, check for leaks, make sure it's all okay, and retop the header tank, retop the coolant if required. Right, see you in a minute. Just got back from the test drive, all seemed okay. Heater is blowing nice and hot. Make sure it's purged. You've got to be very careful opening this. You could end up, just be gently. You're better off allowing that to cool fully, but I'm going to take a gamble. We'll come around this side. No apparent leaks. All the hoses dry. Nothing down here. It's dry. Nothing at all. All looks to be in good order. I will drop down underneath and have a look in a minute as well. Oh, there we go. Too impatient. No, come back to that. We'll let that cool down. We'll give it 15 minutes or so and then open that, or else we're going to get covered in boiling hot water. Right, let's duck down underneath. Back down below, and we have a little leak from the coolant pipe there. As you can see, it trickling down the pipe. So that's why we go on a test drive, and that's why when we come back from a test drive we recheck. So I'm going to have to let this cool now. Got to be good 15-20 minutes so this cool, because it'll be pressurized and it'll spray a hot coolant on me. And it looks like I'm going to have to reseat that clamp. That's the one I struggled with for 15 minutes, so no surprise that that one's leaking. I'll give him a little wiggle around in a reseat, go out on a test drive again and recheck. Just had the car running for 15 minutes after repositioning that clamp on the bottom half of the thermostat, and as you can see, it's bone dry now, so it was worth double checking the work, because we've now prevented the leak and having further problems. Just recheck the level of the coolant after the test drive, after repairing the leak, and it's all settled down now. So we got most of the air out. So there we go, that was the replacement of the thermostat on the Ford Ka. I'm sure you'd agree that's quite a basic task that can be carried out by your average home mechanic like myself with basic tools. I used a quarter drive set and a pair of pliers, and that was about it, and a decorator scraper. So if you've liked what you've seen, I've got other videos like this on my channel, so check them out, and I'll catch you next time.